For quite some time now, I get a lot of comments on my social media accounts from our viewers and followers mentioning either an Infinix or a Tecno phone because of their affordable phones with competitive specs than the other brands. And since Tecno just dropped a new gaming-centric phone in the market now, the Pova 4 Pro, I quickly click the checkout button without hesitation. But the question is, will this phone impress me and will it be your next phone? Or will it disappoint me with its drawbacks? Well, there's only one way to find out. Hey guys, James here and this is Tech M.N.O. Join me as I share my thoughts and analysis on my Tecno Pova 4 Pro full review. Let's start the video with a quick unboxing. Here's the retail packaging of the Tecno Pova 4 Pro in its silver and blue box. Removing the pull tab and lifting the upper box now, we can see the phone itself. Let's put the phone on the side for now and let's see what else is included. Removing the divider, we can see its 12+1 warranty paper and the manuals. Next, the soft jelly case, and on the small box containing the USB-C cable, basic earphone, and the SIM ejector tool. And finally, the 45-watt fast charging brick. Let's aside the box for now and focus our attention on the phone. Removing the plastic sleeve now, and here's the Tecno Pova 4 Pro in rutile orange. Removing the stickers here, and we will turn on the phone now and set this one up. While we're setting up the phone, I will say a quick disclaimer that this device was not provided by Tecno or any other entities and retailers here in the Philippines. All of the things I'll say are mine only, and they don't have any inputs nor advanced copies of this video. They're seeing this right now, right alongside you. With that out of the way, let's begin with the review of this design. Right out of the gate, after I remove the plastic sleeve here, I was immediately impressed at its back design. It's super unique and out of this world. It really screams gaming, and Tecno's design language with this phone is based on nickel iron crystals from meteorites called Widmanstatin Prism ID. When you look closely, you may think that the back panel has a grainy texture because of its meteorite inspiration, but it's a matte finish that it's fingerprint and smudge proof, which is a good news for a better grip. The color that I have here is called rutile orange, and I am happy that I got this color. Because of the black area of the panel will go into a magma orange gradient hue when the orange lights with the heat shine through direct sunlight or strong bulb light. This gradient color combination reminds me of the planet Mars here. And believe me when I say this, but it's a head turner and a scene stealer. And while we're still on the topic of the back cover, that and the frame of the Pova 4 Pro is made of plastic, but thanks to its unique design and its matte finish back, you will be fooled that it's made from glass. Also, I don't mind having that because of this phone is also a budget phone too. Though, if I will give this a nitpick, the camera module might also be unique, but the lightning icon to it is unnecessary here. People may also be fooled that it's also a third lens, but in reality, it's not. Also, the volume buttons and the power button fingerprint scanner combo is positioned is a bit too low in my liking. But overall, I will give this design of the Pova 4 Pro a thumbs up. Alright, let's go now with its display. The Tecno Pova 4 Pro's 6.66-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED panel with 90Hz refresh rate is a commendable choice here. The dot drop notch on the top is old-fashioned, not gonna lie, but for me, looking at this price point, it's understandable. I know they shouldn't put this as a punctual setup, but it will rack up the price of this phone significantly if they will put that here, so that's okay with me. But what's not okay with me is Tecno's decision not to have this phone with a Gorilla Glass or any other glass protection here, which is a bummer. So you need to be extra careful not to scratch up or drop this phone in the concrete or rock to avoid damage. Though it has a plastic screen protector already applied here, so we're good to go. Alright, let's talk about the AMOLED panel now. And we as well know with its type of screen, it is sharp, detailed, and vibrant. And it's Wildline L1 certified, so when you're watching an HD movie on Netflix that has a dark scene, it is deep black all throughout here. This one can reach 450 nits of brightness, but it can boost up to 500 nits in adaptive brightness mode when you're in bright sun. However, the color tones of this display are on the cooler or on the bluer side. Unfortunately, you cannot customize it through its settings. In terms of scrolling on this phone, it has a smooth and has no choppiness or lagginess on the display thanks to its high refresh rate screen. You can choose either 60 or 90 Hz, or if you want the best of the both worlds, you can choose auto mode. However, if you force your display to 90 Hz mode, once you will not touch the screen for a brief moment, it will dial down to 60. I asked one of my content creator friends if this is a normal occurrence, but they say it was normal. So we will see about that. What's not normal in my opinion is this display shifting that I notice when one of my apps is in dark mode and my brightness is super low. Take a look at this video. When it forced to 90 Hz or even in auto mode, the display will turn from a super dark black screen into a dark grayish background. I don't know if this is a display limitation or a hardware limitation. Alright, let's proceed now with the Tecno Pova 4 Pro's performance. It is powered by the 6nm MediaTek Helio G99 chipset paired with 8GB of physical RAM with an extended 5GB of virtual RAM and either 128 or 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage, and that's expandable thanks to its dedicated micro SD card slot. The one that I have got here is the highest storage available. In terms of the Antutu benchmark scores, which this will only be an exception on my channel here, locks in at around 375,000 points, which in summary, it's a very capable and powerful chipset. Day-to-day tasks like casual scrolling to my social media accounts, answering emails and messages from my friends, and watching YouTubes on YouTube is a breeze throughout the whole month of using this phone. However, in terms of heavy usage like video editing or in this case, heavy gaming, expect low to medium settings on some titles you may know. For the full game test video that I recently concluded, you can click the card right here or you can check out in the description below. Other hardware tests for this phone in terms of its Wi-Fi performance, it's pretty good in either 2.4 or 5 GHz. Though make sure that you're not super far away with the modem because I experienced some connection drops in my test when I tried to connect to our 2.4 GHz main modem. Lucky enough, we have a Wi-Fi mesh and after that, no more drops happen. In terms of data performance, it's also good on this budget phone. I can hit 40 megabytes down when I'm outside of our house. But if you're inside, the signal bar ranges from 2 to 3 bars on my end. But it will depend on where you live. Bluetooth and GPS connections are also stable. NFC is available on this phone. Any fingerprint scanner is fast and accurate. Alright, let's talk about the audio performance of the Tecno Pova 4 Pro, starting with its stereo speakers. The dual speaker setup was marketed with a DTS audio technology with AI noise reduction feature for a more immersive listening experience. Well, in my own testing, these speakers are loud, but it's a bit distorted if the song is bass heavy and if it's full volume. The audio distribution isn't balanced here. The bottom firing channel of the phone is much louder compared to the top channel. So if you're playing games, make sure to avoid covering the bottom speaker so you can hear the audio properly. And finally, in terms of the headphone jack, Tecno says that it's capable of giving higher resolution audio when using headphones. Well, I use a KZ EDC in-ear monitor to test it out with a high resolution song, a 24-bit FLAC file, and the result is good, but not high-res good. Since the phone does not have a dedicated DAC system on their phone, it only produces an above normal audio quality to the audio port. So it's a bit of a false advertising here. Before we go any further, if you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get you notified when a brand new video will come out. And follow us on our social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at Tech M.N.O for more content and big giveaways that we have right now that you can check out in the card right here. And let's talk about the software of the Tecno Pova 4 Pro. And honestly, this is the major elephant in the room of this review. To recap, it is running in iOS 12 on top of Android 12 out of the box. And I'm sorry to say this early, but this is my least favorite and recommended UI in the Android space. Let me tell you why. As you may know, I've been a user of Xiaomi for a long time now, and you can see here on our channel my frustrations and disappointments on its software, MIUI. But when I tried this UI skin now from Tecno, I already said to myself that the worst has yet to come. If you want a short answer, iOS, yes, and even its Tecno's sister brand Infinix's own UI skin, XOS, are one of the heaviest and messiest UI skins I tried, next to MIUI. After finished setting up the phone, I was greeted by this unusual app menu screen. It was a separated alphabetical list type format starting from left to right, meaning if there's only one app in a letter, there will only be a wasted space here on the column like this, for example. I completely understand if the phone is not big and wide enough when you will use it one-handed, but you need to squeeze your thumb all the way to click an app if you're a right-handed person. But I wonder what happened if the user is a left-hand dominant. Another weird feature on iOS is this heart-shaped recent apps tab is occupying the topmost part of the menu. You can hide this tab, thank goodness, but in order to do that, you need to manually hide every single app on it. Like what? It's a short view. I wish that there's an option to remove the tab completely. And finally, the most irritating part of the UI is how messy the settings page it is. In order for you to access the Bluetooth settings rather than having its own menu tab, you need to click one more to the More Connections tab to go there. The Software Update tab is buried at the bottom part of the settings under System tab, and the AI Assistant tab has its own place but only have a one sub-item inside. That should have been located on the Special Functions tab. That's just a glimpse of the things I don't like about iOS, including the design icons of the control center that's so small for a phone that's so big. Tecno, please, if you're listening, please make your UI one-handed friendly or make your control center shortcut buttons go larger in size. I have several mispressed incidents here on this phone. Another area that I really hate about iOS is its huge amount of bloatwares and pesky ads that ruined my experience with this phone. Without sounding rude, iOS just takes the crown as the Android skin with the most number of bloatwares in a phone, in my experience, ever. I've counted a total 25 bloatware apps pre-installed on the phone after I set the phone up. What frustrates me is that there's a first-party app that has almost the same feature as a Google app that's also uninstallable here. For instance, there's a Files by Google app, while there's a Files Manager app. There's a Hive browser, even there's a Chrome here, Google Photos even if there's an own gallery app, and a Palm Store even there's a Google Play Store. On top of that, there's 8 first-party apps that you may or may not use every single time on your phone. So if you will only buy the 128 gig storage option here, prepare to be shocked that the overall storage left after setting up is around 105 gigs, which is almost 20% of the memory already eaten up. If that's not enough for you, well, prepare for the worst of them all. There's a notification ads on top of your screen every 30 minutes or so. I tried so hard to avoid these things from disabling the app to turn off the notifications, but it's still lurking around the phone. I know there will be some people typing in the comments section here saying, then plug it in on your computer, open USB, debugging, and tinker it. Well, it's easy for you to say it, but for others, it's new territory for them. Not all users are literate enough to tinker with their phones and hope for the best that their phone is still usable after that. That's why I'm against users pushing average consumers to try custom roaming, then leaving them in the air when a problem occurs when they try that. That's why I quote from Mr. Who's the Boss from his recent video stuck in my brain. I quote, "A phone that gains in hardware loses in software." And this is what happened on the Tecno Pova 4 Pro. I do wish they will fix it in their next software update, if they will update this. Alright, let's move on with the cameras of the Tecno Pova 4 Pro. It consists of a 50 megapixel AI lens similar to the last year's Pova 3 main cam, and on the front is an 8 megapixel camera with a dedicated front flash. Before I show you some photos, I will say this right now, that this second cutout is a nonsense filler camera. Can we please stop putting nonsense lens on your phones just to call it a dual camera setup? Anyways, on the camera app, the default mode is called AI Cam. If you will ask if the AI modes can be disabled, unfortunately, there's no option to do that. So, yeah. In broad daylight, the shots from the main camera come out at 12.5 megapixels are good, but underwhelming at best. Even though there are some shots that are quite detailed, some subjects are washed out, grainy, and noisy. Color of the subjects are a bit hit or miss depending on the condition. Also, the sensor is struggling to focus well on subjects if it's a moving object or against the light like this one, for example. 50 megapixel mode is available in camera app and some shots are much better in some photos. But of course, expect a bigger file size ranging from 17 megabytes per photo. On portrait shots, it came out good, but there are some areas that aren't blurred out properly, like this photo here. On night shots, the same results are the same observations on the day shots, with an additional issue that I saw, like for some photos with some Christmas lights here in this photo, when zoomed in on the subject, the light source subject looks like a watercolor painting, and in some cases, it was blown out. There's a super night mode available on the main camera, but while some outputs come good, the majority of the shots are a bit aggressive in lighting and it brightens the shots heavily and it crushes the shadows some of the time. Also, you need to have a steady hand because it will take at least 4 to 5 seconds to process the photo you took. In terms of selfies in daylight, it came out sharp and detailed. However, the colors on the final output are a bit softer and there's some softening on my face, which is the culprit here is the AI camera mode. Portrait shots are good too, though just like in the rear photos here, there's some backgrounds that not blurred properly. At night, selfies are a bit underwhelming even though there's an option for a screen flash or a dedicated physical flash on the front. The shots are serviceable and can be posted through social media accounts. But again, there's some still softening of the face due to the AI camera that can't be disabled. It also takes 3 to 4 seconds to process your photo, so you may end up some blurry shots like this. Videos from the main camera can record up to 2K resolution at 30 FPS. It's detailed but with some graininess in some scenarios. There is some electronic image stabilization or EIS here, but you will go down to 1080p at 30 FPS. The results are good, but you can see some minor jitter movements here. Same goes with the selfie video results that you can record also up to 2K also. Here's our video test for the Tecno Pova 4 Pro in 1080p at 30 frames per second. So the field of view is a little bit small here, so you need to stretch out your arms here for a little bit so you are in full frame right now. So this is the video test for the Tecno Pova 4 Pro. We are now at 2K resolution at 30 frames per second. So what about your thoughts about the audio quality and the video quality here? And last but not the least is the charging and the battery life of the Tecno Pova 4 Pro. The 6,000 mAh battery capacity alongside the battery efficient processor gave me an impressive screen on time for both casual and heavy usage. When I play heavy games for a whole day, I hit at least 9 hours of screen on time. That's straight up amazing. And when you're not playing games, you can manage to get at least 11 to 12 hours on a single charge. How cool is that? And charging this phone isn't a chore to do. With its 45 watt-hour brick, you can charge this bad boy up to 100% in just 75 minutes. Yes! You want proof? Check out my charging of this phone in the card right here or in the description below. Alright, now we're done dissecting the Tecno Pova 4 Pro with you. With its price tag of 9,699 pesos or around 175 US dollars converted for the base storage variant or 10,299 pesos or around $185 for the max storage variant, is this a good choice to buy now? Well, it depends on who you ask. If you're a type of user that wants to play games on your phone, at least on medium graphic settings with a vibrant screen, fast charging, but your budget is super tight, then the Tecno Pova 4 Pro is the best pick for you. You can't find a phone with an AMOLED display here, a capable processor, and a beefy battery in this price range that brands charge at least $50 more than this phone. However, not all users are gamers and prioritize a good camera output, a great software experience, and it has monthly security updates. If that's the kind of user you are, then you should find somewhere else, like the Narzo 54G or the newer Realme 10. Phones that have a good UI and software than this phone. With that said, with the combination of a good screen, a processor that can go a bit more than your casual usage, a battery can last for more than a day, and super fast charger, then no doubt that the Tecno Pova 4 Pro deserves the hype it puts it here. I just hope that they can fix their software very soon so I can fully recommend this phone for everyone. Will you buy this phone or you will get something else? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more videos like this, check out the whole Tecno Pova 4 coverage in this playlist here, or watch my previous video, click right here. And don't forget to subscribe to our two channels. Again, my name is James, and I will catch you guys on the next one.